Let me just get this notification from Facebook.
We live, huh?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, live.
and we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of the People's Podcast. We have a great couple with us this afternoon. I want to thank them for taking time out of your busy schedule to come give us some you all's love story. We look forward to hearing it. First of all, assalamu alaikum.
Like song.
Okay, brother Ronald, sister Aisha. I've known you. You all know me since I was very young at MUY. So it's good to. I didn't know. I always looked at y'all as older than me, so I never paid attention to your love story. So I'm learning along with the audience.
Don't you think that was younger than us? He's swear.
I look forward to hearing the love story. I look forward to hearing the love story. It seemed like y'all was married since as long as I've been in Chicago. It seemed like y'all was together. So I want to see this. Let me hear the love story. My sister's Miriam Naima says, Assalamu alaikum. Kanika says, Assalamu alaikum as well. Boom. Thank y'all for watching. Okay, the first question we want to know is, who made the first move on who?
Me. Had to be.
I
think so.
You know what? I guess I don't clearly recall. It was.
You
know what? It's a convoluted way that we even wound up together. That's true. The real answer. So it was like we, it's just something that morphed over time. You know what I mean? From being, somebody that I didn't really know or get on my nerves at one time to becoming friends.
Really?
And then, well, yeah. I mean, you was Rhonda's friend. You was,
yeah.
So it's just something that morphed over time. So I can't exactly say when it switched and went from being just a true, genuine friendship to more than that, to being complicated.
Okay. And
it's
entanglement. And where was you all? Do y'all remember your first date?
I do.
Okay.
You was late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was late. We went to where did we go? We went to a pizza. We went to get pizza at I think, was that the first day we went to go get?
I thought it was the first time we went to the movies.
What were we gonna see?
I think Die Hard with a Vengeance.
That was our first date?
I think so.
Oh, maybe.
So
okay.
To answer the question, we don't know.
It was like 25 years ago.
Okay.
We went to eat though, but okay.
All right, and Brother Ronald, how did your parents feel about Sister Aisha? Did they approve?
I never asked. To be honest, it was like I just kind of was doing whatever I did, and then I never. I mean, as far as my parents, I never really ran anything like that by them. To be honest, what I mean, before her, what I mean, and it was just something that is like, I guess by the time it became a situation, it was like you just have to kind of deal with it. You know what I mean? So it was never a formal thing like
that. Okay. And Sister Aisha, how did your parents feel about Brother Ronald?
They loved me from the beginning.
They did. They did. Because I mean, Ronnie, we were like we said earlier, we were friends. So it was like, and his family was close with my family. So they were like always around anyway. So it wasn't like a big deal like that. They always liked him. Mm-hmm. Everybody
did. Okay, great. And how, to you, Sister Aisha, how did Brother Ronald propose?
It's weird because he proposed like long before we got married.
So that's when proposals happened before.
No, I mean it wasn't like. No, I'm saying it wasn't like he proposed and we were like planning a wedding or anything. Like at the time, I think I was still in high school. Yeah, I think I was still in high school at that time. And then
I was trying to avoid going to jail.
It's just so ridiculous. This this is what I gotta put up with. It was nice. It was sweet and everything. Like I said, we were so young, we didn't like plan a wedding or anything like that at that time. It wasn't until years later that we actually got married. But yeah, he proposed like I don't even remember like what day it was or anything, but it was really nice.
Okay, Amber, Ronald, how did you plan the proposal?
You know what? Man, John, how much you would ask this stuff like 10 years ago? It wasn't really like a planned thing like that. You know, I'm not like
it's not a planner.
I'm not. You know what I mean? So it was something that I felt it was genuine. You know what I mean? When I thought of it or felt that way, and we decided to do it. But I'm not like a grand gesture kind of person. You know what I mean? So it wasn't going to be, like this carriage ride, and then we eating ice cream in the bottom ice cream bowl of the ring. I'm just not that kind of person. So I meant what I said. You know what I mean? But it was an informal thing. You know what I mean? When we did that. You know. So
okay, excellent. And my sister Mimi wants to know how old were y'all when y'all got married?
I was 19.
You were?
Yeah. So. Yeah. So you were 20.
Okay. Yeah.
I think. Wait. No. Oh yeah, you were 21, 21. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent. And my question for you, Bro Ronald, is how did you know that Sister Aisha was the one?
How did I know she was the one?
Duh.
Wow.
You better answer this right.
Well, first of all, I'm trying to think, because I don't know if I ever really just thought about it in that type of like concrete. I knew it was somebody that I wanted to be with, like more times than not. You know what I mean? So it was like it's particular at that point in my life. At that point in time, it was like if I wasn't trying to work or something like that, then that's what I wanted to be with, and spend time with, and somebody I did want to care for, provide for, make their life better, make her life better, I should say. So I guess when those feelings get strong up, when you start feeling like, man, I want to be with that person, like to that degree, to that extent, and somebody that I could see like enjoying the journey of life with, I think that's what did it for me, I think.
Okay. And Sister Aisha, what made you know that Brother Ronald was the one?
Oh man.
On sight. No.
Honestly, because at that time it was like, you know how most relationships are like, you like this person, they like you, and then it's all these fuzzy like things, and then it becomes like over time you be yourself. With Ronnie and me, we was friends, so it was like I was completely myself the entire time. So it was like I could completely be myself. So for me, that was like everything. Okay, I can completely be myself. I don't have to act like I'm this person or put on any type of, fronts or anything. So it was like, I felt like I could do that for the rest of my life. Just be with somebody that's comfortable with me being me.
Okay, great. Now, Brother Ronald, for 76 trillion years, men have been trying to get out of the friend zone. How were you able to go from being friends with Aisha to being, official with her? How was that possible? How was that possible?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Because I was never put in the friend zone.
Okay.
So, friend zone is somewhere that somebody puts you. You know what I mean? So, when they put you there, that's where the fuck you going to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we were friends, and so
we were mutual friends. It wasn't like he wanted to be with me, and I said, "Let's be friends."
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's the first step. Avoid that shit. Like, don't ask, and then they're like, "Nah, just hold on. Let me put you. You just be an orbiter for a little while, and then okay. Avoid that. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, my next question is: I love music. And as the albums that are behind me are some of my favorite albums and things of that nature. Brother Ronald, if you could pick a favorite song that you feel represents, you know, you and Aisha's relationship, or how you feel about her, what song would it be?
That's hard.
That's hard because like one song is really tough. So we got to do more than one song.
Okay. What album? What playlist would you give to Aisha?
Okay. What playlist? Let's see. Man, hey, that's kind of heavy, John. We love like Don't Disturb This Groove. That's old school.
Okay.
Let's see, what's the Lenny Kravitz song? I Belong to You.
Okay.
Let's see what else. I know what's the song from Twilight. I like that one.
Oh yeah.
The Celine Dion. What was the Celine Dion song from Up Close and Personal? I can't think of the title. I didn't know the song. You know what I mean? What was the song?
Can't think of the name of it though.
Oh, and these are. I know these are kind of weird ones, but like the Aerosmith song, "I Never Close My Eyes." You know.
Yeah.
That's real. If you listen to the words of that song really that was like when I talk about that thing that made me want to propose, where you want to be with somebody more than than you don't. Like some of the things that they say in that song, like
don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah, don't want to miss a thing. Yeah, it's so true. You know that really captured a feeling. Let's see what else. Man, you know what? I have to come back to you. I'm gonna have to pull up my.
Okay.
I know the songs, but I don't know all the titles. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's right. But I'm glad that I'm having this conversation with you.
Can we do Kel songs?
Huh?
Can we do R. Kelly songs?
I mean, that's fine too. Whatever. If it's R. Kelly favorite, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people's favorite song.
I'm just saying, I didn't know if he was canceled. You're not canceled to me. You're not canceled to me. Not to me.
Okay.
No, I just said I didn't know where you are with that.
Where are we with it? No, Sister Aisha, when she comes on our top 5 podcast, she's never diverse as you were with your playlist.
Oh, you
my answer songs, it's always like Bobby Brown, Jodeci. That's it. Jodeci, Bobby Brown, Jodeci.
Hey, now listen,
He's like, the reason why I say those is
Jodeci is my favorite group of all time.
Top 5. You didn't ask him what were the best songs ever.
Right, that was a tight genre.
Yeah, I get it.
That's a tight genre that you put us in.
Okay, but since Aisha, what about what love songs represent? How you feel about Brother Ronald?
Oh God, I thought you said all our songs. Oh, my song is Countdown. Beyonce, since I like that song.
Okay,
but that song more reminds me of like our relationship, not like prior to it, more like our marriage over time. Okay. What other songs? You didn't say all the songs.
No, I didn't.
You did. Thousands of songs.
I mean, I couldn't. Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, you said most of the songs that we have over time liked together. I thought that's what you were giving, our songs.
Oh.
You weren't. Don't even try it. They weren't all your songs.
Okay, well, Brother Ronald, I have a question for you. First of all, I want to read some of the comments.
Aaliyah, ain't nothing but a number.
Naima says yes, Twilight. Mimi says all. Omar from Chicago says they were 12 when they got married. You all are his role models. Brother Dewan says he loves this. Kanika said I'm trying to get you all in trouble. Naima says young love. Beautiful. Okay, my next question for you, Brother Ronald, is I've asked many of the fathers when you all have 7 children.
7. 5 boys, 2 girls.
7 children, yes, sir. And when you were in, did you ever go into the delivery room with your wife? And if so, how did that affect you?
I went every time.
How
did it affect me? You know what? It's like it's something that you look at, but you like kind of, You're like, man, I know that this is special. You know what I mean? and you want to witness it, but it's like one of those 50-50 things. You know what I'm saying? It's like a beautiful mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So how did it change me? You know what? I don't think it did. Like, especially after you had the first one. You know what I mean? It's like you just want health is like your priority or concern, and then the you watching it, the nurses and doctors. You know, you kind of start like paying more attention to what they do. You know what I mean? Because when she is delivering, like it's nothing that they're not paying attention to any of that kind of stuff, and you just want to be supportive. So I don't really think that it changed me so much as I think the things that you do and while that's going on may change as you have more and more children. You know what I mean? But like health is always a priority. That you just hoping and praying for health, and you want to honestly you want to see it over with. Like once it starts, you want it to be over with as fast as possible. You know what I mean? So because it's like that the woman is in pain, and it's not a pleasant thing to watch when you care about the person. You know what I mean?
Praise be to Allah. Okay, and Brother Ronald, what advice would you give to future husbands?
Advice? That's a good question. Get money. Get money as fast as possible, as much as you can. You know what I mean? Legally. I mean, but if you can't, you don't need it. No, but yeah, seriously, and then honestly, I would like it's such a much more serious thing in this world. I think it gets devalued. You know what I mean? As far as like what that level of commitment will require of you, in particular as a man, to be able to provide for a family and to make it work. And I've been fortunate because we've been up, we've been down, and she, even when we've been down, never really got funny. You know what I mean? But it's having resources is like it's imperative. You know what I mean? To ease the situation. And then it's things that, like, because once you get married, typically children are gonna follow. It's just like your ability to expand your base once that stuff starts happening is I guess impaired, so to speak. So you want to have a good foundation, especially financially, when you start that journey. So develop yourself, you know what I mean, even before you get married. We've been fortunate, but like it's and I think another thing too. I should say this too, is that it depends on where you are too in life, right? Because when you're younger, both people come into the situation with nothing. It's a lot easier to be like, okay, whatever we have is what we got together. As you get older, it's like, what you got? You know what I'm saying? So I think that stuff interferes with, the way that you build your relationship and stuff like that. But yeah, so I think one of the key successes for men, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's made difficult, for us, is because to have a family and children without finance, it's like, man, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's really tough. And we've been fortunate that even on times when we were down because she had health issues or whatever, and I wasn't able to work or whatever, that we had a good support system. So, having a family that could support you in times where you like are up against it, that goes a long way. So money, a good support system, so to take care of people like that can take care of you, because not having a support system, that leaves you extremely vulnerable. So it's like when I'm at work, you have discussion with people that come from different backgrounds, and I tell them, like, we work in a kind of impoverished area, and the thing that they don't understand is that, like, it might be a guy trying really hard, but his car breaks down, right? And it might be something simple as a $500 car repair, but everybody else he knows is broke. You know what I mean? So this dude now he's trying to, put money together, get his car fixed, to get to work. So now he's getting to work late, and then it just create that cycle where that person, now he's out of a job because he doesn't even have a support system to turn to. Yes, you know, so like that is very, I mean, I kind of messed up what I was trying to say, but the point I'm trying to make is having people that can help you, a support system, whether it's your family and friends and everything like that, that helps your ability to do what you need to do as a man, you know, or as a family, you know what I mean? So that is something that's important as well.
Excellent, excellent. And Sister Aisha, what advice would you give to future wives?
I think it's important as a wife to be supportive, patient, and
clean.
Yes, clean, but no. But I would say kind as well, because like, especially like the world we live in now and how they treat Black people in general, but Black men in particular, it's important that when they are home, they come home to peace and kindness. You know, I think that's very critical. What else would I say? I mean, piggybacking off what he said, having a great support system as well, like amongst women, because we are the primary caregivers for our children in particular. So it's important to have a strong support system, village, whatever you want to call it, so that you can be kind and patient and all those things, so you're not so overwhelmed as well.
Yeah, I can see that, because like for women like that, the burden of finance, I mean, it's not in a lot of cases, I shouldn't say that, but like say in a marriage where you have a traditional marriage, I think that the, you know, resources are more of the man's primary role, not solely, but primary. And then the woman, as far as doing things to make up the home, children, taking care of children. So like facilitating things as far as like picking up children, they're going to be primarily on, as far as in our relationship, primarily on her, you know what I mean? To make sure that so-and-so is getting picked up from school, getting dropped off at a rehearsal, or taken to the doctor and things of that nature. So it's times where you will need a friend or support system to maybe, you know, hold down, you know, a couple of children while you're running late from doing one thing or another. You know, just things like, you know, those little things go a long way as far as de-stressing the situation, you know.
Okay, excellent. And Ronald, what advice would you give to future fathers?
To future fathers, like the number one thing is develop yourself, you know what I mean? So you could have something to impart, you know, like I didn't accomplish a lot of the things that I thought I would have by this point in my life, but even my beats, you know, I try to pass on what I learned from them to my children. And you know, through your scars and things of that nature that you develop along the path that you go on, you really want to be able to give them something of value. That's the main thing that I try to teach my children, is like to become a person of value, and you want to give them things of value along with, you know, possessions, but like, you know, good insight into the way things work, the way the world works, a good mindset that enable you to go out and compete in the world, and you know, just do small, simple, basic things. So like our goal, because we do have a large family, like people like, man, like, what are you doing? How do you? I could never do that, you know. And I was like, my goal is always to have 7 productive citizens. You know what I mean? At the end of this day, is like, so the thought, like, you know, you drive past in our community and you see like, you know, Tyrone and them hanging out. You know what I'm saying? It would. Like if I saw one of my sons out there, his pants hanging on, and like his day is meeting up and sitting under the tree, you know, on the milk crate, you know, that's like, you know, like, what are we do? You know, what are you doing? So as a father, that would, I mean, I would be heartbroken, you know what I'm saying? Because I know what I've invested too, though, you know what I mean? So look at your children as the greatest investment that you can ever make. And I tell them, my sons this in particular, I was like, who you have your children with is the most important decision that you'll ever make, ever, because you can never undo it. You know what I mean? Even as far as marriage, divorce, you know, you can walk away, but you can never undo that, union when you have a child with somebody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
That's, I put value on that. You know what I
mean? Okay, excellent. So Aisha, I'm coming to you, but Ronald, the reason I want to ask you from a man to another man is because Sister Aisha always posts pictures of your family, your children, and you all seem like Blackish, like the Huxtables. All your children going to college. It gotta be something. It gotta be something that you teaching these. Like, how you getting all your children to go to college, and it gotta be something you gotta. It gotta be a book you have to something.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not like a huge proponent of college, to be honest. But I say that with a caveat, meaning that if you have a plan that you really can go and execute, then fine. But I do feel that college gives you options, you know what I mean, that you won't have, and if you don't have a plan, to be honest, a lot of, like, I'm just not starting to feel like I make adult decisions, and I'm like getting ready to be 43 because it's like, it takes a while to really, really fully mature and grow up. And even as far as like knowing what you want to do and things like that, you're fortunate and blessed if you know what you want to do early in life and you really have a path to achieve it. So I tell my children, like, I don't have any connects. I don't know this person with this business where you can go and just work for them. You know what I mean? So I'm like, things of a practical nature, like college buys you time. It buys you time to mature. It buys you, to get certain skill sets, think about, what networking, think about what, how do you plan to add value to the world? So it creates things like that. So I tell them, you don't have to go, but you need to have a plan. But I do suggest that you go if you don't have a plan, So I try to tell them all the time, like, what you try to create is you want to have attractive options in your life, So what happens in a lot of times, the people, they have options, but none of them are attractive. You know what I mean? So you want to put yourself in a position where, you're choosing, from things that are going to put you, I guess, give you a better trajectory of where you want to end up. You know what I mean? Instead of just like choosing the best from amongst the worst.
Okay, excellent. And Sister Aisha, what advice would you give to mothers, future mothers?
I would say that we should look at our children as a gift. I think so often it's like it's a burden. And if you do it that way, like there's no joy in it. There's no, like, you don't see it as being a privilege at all. You know what I mean? So I think that I would tell them to actually see their children for how they really are. And, going back to what Ronnie was saying, as far as what they can be in the world, what they can bring to the world. Like, if you looked at it like that, I think it would be a much more enjoyable thing. I think it's a duty, but duty doesn't necessarily have to be like bad. Right, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be something that's like, oh God, like you're carrying it like a burden. I truly, honestly, for the most part, enjoyed my children, still do, enjoy my children. What else would I say? I would say that, I don't know, that's like so much. So
to add to what she was saying, like, that's so true. And that's what I was saying, like, as far as having money, it's important, like, because you don't mind doing these things, right? Buying food, clothing, human development is expensive. Investing in them, developing them, you really don't mind doing it. But when you're in a position where like your basic necessities are a strain at every turn, it's like, what, oh my God. It's like that, instead of being a labor of love, it does become a burden that you don't feel that you can manage. You know what I mean? So manageable situations is a lot different than like everything you're doing becoming like this strenuous like task. Like, I can, like, the thought of every month, like, how I'm gonna pay the electric bill, like basic stuff, you need it, right? You know what I mean? So like when you could eliminate, like, I'm not saying you have to be luxurious, but like having a certain level of sustainability and a certain standard of living as a base, you know what I mean, that you can expand from is important. And I think that helps just the environment and atmosphere, so that when you're dealing with your children, it's not from a position where, you know, you stressed out or you just like starting to look for outs, you know what I mean, you know, or, you know, you start doing things like, instead of thinking about developing, you're thinking about escaping, you know, your own reality, you know. So I think that's a huge different perspective.
Okay, excellent. And thank you all for your honesty and transparency. Brother Victor P says, my fam. My sister Naima says, yes, so true. Mimi said, yes, give us the blueprint. Brother Elijah from Chicago, Elijah Mo says, yes, sir. Excellent. My next question for you, Brother Ronald, is how do you, what do you do for fun? And how do you get alone time?
Let's say that again.
What do you do for fun? And how do you get alone time?
Oh, alone time?
He ignores me.
Well, like for fun, I mean,
don't really tell him read.
I guess, you know what I mean. Watch, you know, like I mean, that's like watch TV. I mean, I work a lot, you know what I mean. Yeah. So it's not really like I like have for fun, but something I did enjoy that one of my children is upset at me with. It's like watching them do things though, like play baseball. You know what I mean? It was like as much as I like for them to do.
You love to coach. You love it.
Watch.
You love coaching.
So stuff like that. Watching them achieve. You know, do things like. So when they do activities, I enjoy watching them participate in their activities. That is something that I like to do for fun. Then like, you know, in my spare time, you know, it's like a lot of my things I do is all geared towards like trying to become the better version of me, really. You know, but because to be honest, I think, you know, we did start having children early. So like the version of myself, as you asked me who I thought I would be by now and who I am, are totally different things. Not that I'm in a bad place, but there's a lot more that I plan to achieve, you know what I mean, for myself, and it will benefit them indirectly, you know. So like I guess like yeah, so stuff like that, reading, you know, just kind of hanging out, eating, obviously. No, I do. I like to eat. I ain't gonna lie to you. But music, you know, that even something simple as like, man, music was like my second love, you know. Yeah, so yeah, that's about it.
Okay, excellent. Sister Aisha, what do you do for fun? Besides watching the Cubs, talk about the Cubs on Facebook.
I was about to say, you know me, sports. I enjoy it completely. Yeah, I do. I enjoy it.
We're a sports house.
We're a sports family. We enjoy the game. We enjoy all the games. You know, no matter what sport it is, we enjoy it. Same, you know, the children's activities, stuff like that. Like we have fun with stuff like that because we're a sports family. We all in. It's not this is not like a chore for us to take them to this. we fully get into it. What else do we do for fun? Like you said, eat. We like to go out to eat, stuff like that. Movies. Yeah.
Now, something I plan to do, you know, is like I know everybody does it, but like, you know, travel. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like really actually getting a chance to travel and things like that. You know, that was something on my radar.
Oh, I like to cook too. I like
to cook.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
All right.
I enjoy that too.
Brother Stephen from Chicago says maturity. He says maturity is a good point. Maturity never is a good point. Good children. Children growing helps parents grow. And Brother Victor P says go Giants. But Victor, not today. Not today with the Giants love. Okay.
Not today.
For you, Brother Ronald, how has the pandemic relationship?
How has the pandemic affected my relationship?
Yes, sir.
It hasn't. You know what I mean? It didn't change anything for me. Yeah, because like I'm not one of those people.
We actually did have fun though. when it first happened because he was on furlough.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is not one of those things like where like I like being at home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of those people where like, man, I gotta get out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I come in the house, I'm good. So that was like so, and then it was like
we
okay.
Yeah, we had to go nowhere. All I did was just cook, and everybody was home. So
so I like having all of them around, like within earshot. That's cool for me. So like for people that like have to get out and get away and clear, I'm not one of them dudes. I gotta get out. I gotta go clear my head. No, clear my head right here, right in this room.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, I want to thank you all for taking time out of your schedule to come on the People's Podcast. This means a lot to myself, my viewing audience. We love your family. We admire watching you all through the lens of social media because as Aisha posts your children so much, I feel like we know them. I know your parents and you all watch, my family. So I feel like we all connected. Thank y'all. Thank you, Brother Ronald. Thank you, Sister Aisha. For taking time out of your schedule. Thank y'all for watching.
Right. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you, man.
Oh, thank you very much, bro. I'm working. All right, and Assalamu alaikum, family.
Let's